Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Sarika Jain, love and relationship coach, and I support women in finding their soulmate relationships and creating the life of their dreams. So, if you're here with me today, we're going to be doing the book club for my new book, The 90-Day Soulmate Plan. Get out of your own way and attract the higher love you deserve. I'm super excited to be sharing this book with you and supporting you in your journey. So, this is a 13-week journey, book club journey. And every week I'm reading from the book and sharing some insights and answering any questions. And we're on week 11 out of 13. So, we're getting close to the final, the final week of this. So, if you're here, congratulations. It takes a lot to be committed to anything, to any process, any book. So, if you've made it this far, congratulations. Okay. Today, I'm going to be starting off with a mindful meditation. So, I'm going to be ringing the bell and I'm going to be guiding us through a 10-minute guided meditation. And my meditation is really for grounding yourself, becoming silent, being connected to your breath, and just learning to be in the present moment. Okay. I really find that this is an important practice for cultivating healthy love, for attracting healthy love. Okay. So I invite you to shut off all your devices. I have to do that too. Yep, mine is. Turn off your email. And just for 10 minutes, just close your eyes and then relax your body, placing your feet on the floor or in lotus position, relaxing your shoulders, your jaw. And together, let's take an inhale and exhale. And together, let's take another inhale, filling up your heart, your chest, your lungs. And exhale. And together, let's take one last long inhale, filling up your whole body with white light. And exhale. And I'm just going to guide you through a little visualization. I invite you to imagine a white light streaming down on you from your higher self, this white light of love, healing, and grace, permeating your scalp, filling your eyes, nose, ears, and mouth. This white light flowing down your spine, down your back, down your arms and hands, filling every cell with the energies of love, healing, and grace. This white light flowing down your throat, into your heart, your chest, your lungs, filling up your breasts. This white light flowing down to your stomach, your gut, your reproductive organs, and other sacred organs in the lower part of your body. This white light flowing down your pelvic floor, down your legs and feet, into Mother Earth, circling her, surrounding her, connecting with her crystalline core. This white light flowing up your feet, up your legs, and all the way to your heart. You were born out of love by Mother Earth and Father Sky. You are loved deeply for who you are. You're wanted and needed on this planet exactly as you are. Bring your attention to your heart, noticing the sensations of your heartbeat, smiling at your heart, gratitude for your heart, love for your heart. And then bring your attention down to your gut, noticing the sensations arising, lovingly accepting what is. And then bring your attention back to your heart and think of someone or something you are grateful for. And one intention for today. And I'll say a prayer. Dear God, dear higher selves of all the people listening on this call, dear life, thank you so much for supporting us through love, unconditional love, support, shelter, clothing, safety, wisdom for our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May we create a unified field between all of us in order to access deepest wisdom from Source. May we align with the energies of love, healing, grace, forgiveness, ecstasy, and surrender. And may we create the conditions to attract a healthy, loving life partnership and other opportunities and abundance into our lives. May we be guided to living to our full self expression. Thank you. And I'm just going to ring the bell and just invite us to sit in silence for a few moments. And I invite you to just, keeping your eyes closed, focus on your breath for just a few moments. And if you have any thoughts arising, just observe them like clouds floating by, and then bring your attention back to your breath. And then bring your attention to your heart, noticing the sensations, sending loving energy and gratitude towards your heart. Noticing any sensations or feelings arising, loving what is. Your heart is one of the most powerful organs. People can feel your heart in the next room. That's how powerful it is, the electromagnetic field that your heart emanates. And your heart is your doorway, your portal to divine love, to information, to guidance from your higher self, to your intuition. And it supplies oxygen and nutrients to the rest of your body. So it's a very sacred organ. So just bringing your attention and love and gratitude to your heart. And if there are any painful sensations, just observing and accepting and loving yourself. And then bring your attention down to your gut, noticing the sensations arising, your womb, your sacral chakra, your sexuality, and send love and appreciation to this part of your body. It's where your life force emanates from, your manifestation abilities, manifesting your dream life, your partnership, your children, your home, the magnetic quality of your sacral area, your womb. And if there are any sensations, painful sensations arising, just send love and gratitude and acceptance towards yourself, holding yourself even if you'd like. Sometimes I put a hand on my heart and another hand on my belly, especially when I'm sleeping, just to send love to these areas of me. And then see if you can just take a moment to scan your body head to toe, just sending love and attention and gratitude to these different parts of your body. And I'm going to ring the bell. May I be happy. May I be peace. May I be free from suffering. May my loved ones be happy. May my loved ones be peace. May my loved ones be free from suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peace. May all beings be free from suffering. Thank you. And you can slowly open your eyes and thank yourself for being here today, for carving out this time to yourself, to your love life, to practicing mindfulness. Okay. So I'm going to start reading. I'm on page 225, and we're on step 4 of the 5-step process of calling in your soulmate. And step 4 is called Prepare for Lasting Love. So we did be a love magnet through self love. That's step 1. Step 2 is heal your heart and close your X files. Step 3 is about discovering your wow factor. So aligning with your feminine, sexual, unique self. And this 4th step is around preparing for that juicy love that you've always dreamed about, the lasting love. Okay. So in the beginning, I talk about Maria. She was a client who was successful, really kind, spiritual, beautiful. I mean, honestly, she had all the qualities that you would think would make her confident in love, and yet she'd never been in a serious relationship. And the few relationships she'd had were with emotionally unavailable men. And she actually attended one of my workshops, and she, you know, shifted her energy around partnership. She stepped into her feminine power. And 2 weeks later, she met an amazing man online. And he was different from the other guys that she dated, really kind, gentle soul, really thoughtful. And so she just decided to give it a shot, started dating him, and then things were going really well. And then around the 2 or 3 month mark, or I don't know, 6 month mark, she started putting up a wall with him, and she started getting doubt whether he was the right partner for her. The things that she really liked about him in the beginning started to irritate her. Has that ever happened for you? Right? Like you meet this amazing guy, and then the quirks that you initially loved about him begin to grate on you, right? Your differences. And that's what happened for her. And really, what was going on was that she had self doubt. She had self doubt that she hadn't really addressed before this relationship. So she'd gone into this relationship without having, prepared herself for soulmate love and building her inner foundation. And so she still had old wounds that were haunting her, that were coming up in her current relationship, making her defensive about him. And she started testing him, making him jump through hoops. I know I've done that in past relationships, right? And so finally she was like, I don't know if I should just give up on this relationship. I mean, he's great, but you know, I'm not, but I don't want to just give it up. So she decided to start coaching with me, and we helped her build her self-love foundation and release her old blocks, her beliefs. And then she discovered that because her mom was in an unhealthy relationship, that And she was in a marriage that she really didn't get out of, right? So she was constantly being berated by her husband. And so this client of mine felt that she was attracting, like, she was afraid that she was gonna attract the same thing in her life. It's a subconscious thing. And so she struggled with having faith in love. And on a deep level, she struggled with self-doubt and almost like this deep sense of unworthiness. And so that unworthiness was like gnawing at her and eroding this beautiful relationship. So, she started aligning her life with her dream partnership, not really worrying about whether this guy was the right one for her or not. First, we were just focused on her. And she began to create, write her, like, just prepare for healthy love, learn how to communicate. And what's really cool is, she learned all about communication through this coaching program, and now her and her husband are coaching others in healthy communication. So it's like a beautiful story. So, anyways, so she, prepared herself for like this big love, soulmate love, and she also started really researching like what her values were, what she really needed in a relationship, and like almost like her non-negotiables. And also she started creating her own manifestation prayer. What did she want to create in her life? Her own vision for her life. And this is all really important because if you're not clear on these things, then you're going to A, let go of a potentially great relationship, or B, just fall into a relationship without realizing what you really value, what you're manifesting in your life. When you're clear about what you want to create in your life, then your partner comes along and wants to support you. And so, anyways, she started, doing all these exercises around her values and her vision. And and then she realized that this man is perfect for her. So she decided to just, surrender and fall in love with this man. And now they're happily married, have a daughter, and they're even doing relationship coaching for other people. So it's such a great story, right? So that's why I think that this chapter is really important, because if you're not prepared for great love, then you could sabotage it. Or B, you might not be in alignment with what you really want to create in your life. Because this isn't just about finding your man, this is about creating a life that's in alignment with your soul. And your partnership is like icing on the cake. And also, it's what makes you sexy. Like when you are a person with a lot of integrity and character and self-worth and knowing what you value and knowing what you dream about, then you're turned on. And so are men. Like men are very turned on by women. That's when they say a woman is strong. A woman is strong when she knows what she values and has a sense of integrity about her. Okay. So, anyways, that's a little bit of the intro to this. And I remember when I was dating and I'd started living into my dream life. So I was on in the corporate world on Wall Street, and I was doing my own love recovery process. And I started, after doing this process that I've outlined in this book, I started feeling like this glimmer of, what do I want to do in this world? What's my purpose? And I started hosting meditation sits, and I started exploring different classes and workshops. And I even started looking into coaching other women. And that's when I met Christian. And Christian was really drawn to my bold ideas and my vulnerability in this search for like my truth, my values. And what attracted me to him was he was doing the same thing. He'd left his corporate job and he was searching for his truth, and he was starting his own business, or he had ideas around it. And I just found it really endearing. Like before I would have, shunned a person like that. Like I would have been like, oh, he's not successful. according to my list of what I'm looking for. But he ended up being the opposite of what I was originally looking for because he was so aligned with his values, or like trying to live in alignment with it. And he was supportive of mine. That's the key. He found my values resonant with him. And I felt like I could just be myself around him and be my uninhibited self with him. So that's what I, invite you to do, is we're going to do a little meditation. Okay. So what I'd like for you to do is close your eyes, and I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. Who are you with, and what are you doing? How does your day look? What is your partner saying to you, and how is he looking at you? Just be with that gaze of your partner. Your partner is gazing at you with admiration. And what does he say to you? What does he like about you? What does he admire about you? What are you two doing together? Are you guys cooking together? Going for hikes together? Going on vacations together? Waking up and having sex together? Just envision this. Where do you live? Do you have children? So imagining your home, your family. If so, how would you describe your children? What do your children love about you? So what are your qualities that you're emanating that your children love about you? And what is your relationship with yourself? How do you feel having all of these things? Being all of these things? How do you feel? Do you feel radiant, relaxed, enthusiastic, exuberant, hopeful, connected, inspired? And just feel all these things, and, holding this vision, and you can slowly open your eyes. And doing this kind of vision work is really important. It's your imagination that helps you create your reality, because your imagination allows you to dream bigger and to be specific about what it is that you want to create in your life. And then you can send out those thoughts into the ether and have them manifest in your life. Okay. So the way I'm going to start reading page 227. The way to manifest a great, fulfilling relationship is by cultivating the conditions for love to manifest in your life. You are at a ripe, potent juncture in your life. You've let go of much of your conditioning and heaviness. Like a painter, you are now free to draw bold, broad brushstrokes on a blank canvas, creating an illustration that moves your soul. So just think about it. Your canvas is blank, and that's actually a good thing. You're about to call in your ideal match and manifest the wife of your dreams through the power of intention. Maybe you have even discovered that being single isn't as terrible as you've made it out to be. In fact, it's the opportunity to love and heal yourself and discover what truly makes you tick. Moreover, you get to define the kind of relationship you want without compromise. You've already done the most important work of creating a strong foundation within you by learning to love and reparent yourself and your old wounds and limiting beliefs that are no longer serving you and stepping into a love goddess, a queen. Now you're ready to set the stage for the next phase of consciously calling in healthy, juicy love with your king. You're doing it in the feminine way of creating your nest and calling in your mate so you can nestle in together, make ecstatic love, and face life's exciting adventures and challenges together from a place of resilience and strength. There is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There's a void in your heart ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you? You feel the separation from the beloved. Invite him in to fill you up, embrace the fire. Remind you that to do otherwise, that, I'm sorry, remind you that love comes to you of its own accord and the yearning for it cannot be learned in any school. So I share this quote because there's like in our current culture, yearning and longing for something is kind of seen as something shameful. And yet, yearning is a big part of the spiritual quest, right? We yearn for connection with the divine. We yearn for divine love. We yearn to be a better version of ourselves. We yearn, so yearning, we yearn for a baby, like mothers who yearn for babies, right? Or connection with a loved one. So yearning is actually holy. It actually connects us with our soul's deepest desires. So to yearn for partnership is holy and divine. So I just want to give you permission to honor that for yourself. And if you feel any sense of shame or embarrassment, if you're feeling like, oh, that's being needy, there's a difference between neediness and yearning. Neediness comes from a place of lack. It's, when you haven't addressed your wounds and you're just feeling insecure within and you need something outside of you to help you feel safe and secure within you. That's not the place that you want to be when you're calling in love, right? Instead, if your cup is full and it's overflowing and you're feeling an honest yearning for something greater than yourself, and that's what a partnership is, something that's greater than yourself. It's going from me to we. It's a leap in consciousness. Okay? Because you're elevating yourself. You're elevating your connection to the world by growing in intimacy with someone. Okay? So I just want to honor that in you. If I know that you're doing this kind of program or this kind of book from a place of yearning, and that's holy. If you're longing for partnership, then you're in the right place. Honoring yourself for this yearning is important. There's nothing wrong with having a desire for partnership and intimacy. Rather, this is an enlightened, self aware desire coming from a place of self love. And it means that your heart is open to exploring intimacy and partnership. Okay, so I just talked about how yearning is like a superpower. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you're like how I was after my love recovery, in that I was happy being single and felt reluctant to get back to dating and even questioning why be in a relationship in the first place, then you're also in the right place. If this is so, I would urge you to continue this path. Sometimes the greatest things in life are the very things that we're afraid of or skeptical of. These are just your defense mechanisms rising up. So it's true. Like after I, kind of done my love recovery process, I was like, I don't need a man. I'm happy, and a lot of women reach that place. And I realized that for me, it was just my defense mechanisms. Like I was like, I'm content where I am. I don't want to rock the boat. It's like that scene in Eat, Pray, Love where, in the last scene, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it. Definitely recommend the movie. But in the last scene, like she meets this amazing guy and he wants her to go in a boat with her to vacation somewhere or live somewhere, I forget. And he called her. He was like, "Come get in the boat with me." And all her defense mechanisms came up, her fears of commitment, her like, "I don't need this relationship." And I don't remember if she jumped in the boat with him or not. I think she did. I think ultimately she did go in the boat with him. But it's that moment, right, where you're just like, "I was so happy being single, and then this person came up and rocked up my consciousness, and now my whole stability is gonna fall apart because I'm happy being single." So if that's the case, that's okay too, and yet I want you to hold that polarity that you can be happy being single, but you can also yearn for something greater too. Okay. Relationships are meant for healing. An intimate relationship with your soulmate holds the most potentiality for profound alchemy and experiencing unconditional love. There is a reason why love is considered the holy grail in one's life. It's not just for safety and security that we seek our soulmates, it's for experiencing transcendence. Your partnership will elevate your state of consciousness and magnify the love in your heart a millionfold. He will break down your barriers in your heart until he merges with you, and you will hold him in love and safety, allowing him to be his full unabashed self. You will learn to conceive your reality together through an eternal dance of Shiva and Shakti. In this process, you will be evolving into a loving, beautiful creature that you could never even imagined, and new powers and desires will be unlocked in you. Through the power of union with healthy masculine and feminine, you get to experience heaven on earth together. And that's the promise. The promise is, you get to experience, co-creation with someone, your masculine counterpart, and you get to create your own Garden of Eden. And I really feel like that today. My home is like a Garden of Eden. We even have a garden in our backyard where we're growing vegetables. And our children feel so loved and safe in our haven that we've created. And we live next door to my mother-in-law. My parents come and stay with us for several months in the year. And so it just feels like we're creating this beautiful dream life together. In this chapter, you'll begin to consciously invite love into your life. You'll learn Feng Shui principles for setting up your life to energetically draw in love naturally while clearing out any remaining obstacles. You'll become crystal clear about what your values are and what you stand for and what type of meaningful life you envision and want to create. Moreover, you'll find yourself upgrading your love consciousness so that you really know how to manifest a rock solid relationship with a sexy masculine man and keep your relationship alive through sexual tension. Okay. So I'm going to be moving into the first part of this step, which is on page 230, and it's Feng Shui principles for calling in love. And people love this. People love learning about, well, how do I invite in love naturally, right? We all dream about, oh, I want to meet someone at a coffee shop, or at a friend's party. And that can happen, but you've got to just make sure that your life is energetically drawing that in to you. Okay. So, I share a story about a friend of mine who was a coach as well, and he had a client who couldn't find her dream man, and then when he went and visited her home, it was cluttered. I mean, it was like cluttered beyond words, right? And even her bedroom was cluttered. She had two sinks, but they were both being used with her stuff. Her closets were full. So she really didn't have space for love in her life. She had so she bought a home in preparation for having a partnership and family, but like even the two parking spots in her garage were taken. So there was no space. And I meet a lot of guys who, like, I lived in New York City, I've dated in New York City, and one of the biggest complaints that men have, they have a couple of complaints about women. One of them is that they're too busy, you know? A lot of women have their calendars packed with social gatherings or even family stuff, work stuff. Women are really busy with their careers, and they feel like they have to like insert themselves into someone's busy schedule. And that's actually like very, very frustrating for men. And then the second thing that they complain about is that women have a lot of baggage from past relationships or daddy issues. So men know these things. So, yeah. And then I think a third is that, women don't show enough interest in men. So, you know, all of these, everything that we're going to be talking about in this section is about how do you get into alignment with attracting a great guy mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Okay. So I'm on page 230. Do you wonder whether your home and lifestyle are attracting or repelling lasting love? Maybe you haven't even considered it. For many people, being busy with work, having a full social calendar, and living in a cluttered home is normal. Yet, if you want new opportunities and relationship possibilities, and in general, love, beauty, and abundance to flow into your life, then you've got to make space for it. I call it Feng Shui principles of love. Everything is energy. And if you want to generate directional flow, then you have to create an opening for that energy to flow to. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. If you look at a restaurant, so I used to live near, I think it was called Little Italy in New York City, and there were a lot of Italian restaurants, and the doors would be open for each of the restaurants, and they'd have huge menus, like these giant menus, and a person at the front inviting people in. And then when you look inside, all the tables were set with like plates and you know um, glasses, and then you could smell the fresh bread and garlic emanating from the restaurant. And so there was like this invitation to come in and eat. Okay. And you'll see that even Chinese restaurants do that. And so, how do you do that with your home? And this is just something for you to consider, or in your life. How do you do that in your life? How do you invite love to energetically move in? So, the first step is to declutter your home and turn it into a haven. The truth is, everything in your home, including every book, has vibrational quality. The colors, the words, and even the intention behind each of them determines the vibration of your home. This lower vibration could not only be draining you, but also be sending mixed signals to the universe about who you are and what you are manifesting. It's time to get rid of the old. So there's two principles I share here. One of them is, if you haven't used something in 6 months, throw it out the best as you can. And the second is, if it doesn't give you joy, throw it out. And by throwing it out, I don't mean just throw it in the garbage, like donate it. I'm really into Buy Nothing, which is a forum on Facebook. Like every area has their own Buy Nothing group, and you can post it there. And it's like this really lovely community that's all about giving and asking, and as a way of community building. So you don't have to feel bad about giving away your stuff. Just know that it's going to the next place, to the next home. And I have a story about a client who had a divorce, and she was married to the man for 15 years. And she still had all their wedding stuff in the home, the china cabinet, the bed, the sofa, like all the nice stuff was from her wedding. And she had a really hard time letting it go. And so she struggled with back pain a lot. And when she finally had the courage to let go of the bed, it was like a really expensive bed that they were given for, as part of the registry or something like that, or they bought together. When she let that bed go, her back pain went away. Okay. So this is how powerful, holding on to old things are, like how much it can impede you. Okay. So get rid of old gifts, presents, pictures, just things that, remind you of exes, remind you of painful stuff from your life or old stuff, things that don't resonate for you anymore. Your home is the physical manifestation of your mind. The process of letting go of your old items will quite literally open up space in your mind and in your heart. That's why people are really into, Marie Kondo's book, The Art, what was it? The Art of Tidying Up, I think. The life-changing magic of tidying up. Yeah. And if you really have trouble getting rid of stuff, just think about it over a multi-month period. Ask a friend to help you, hire an organizer to help you maybe. Okay. And then the next step is to air your place out. So I share some tips around, how to like actually physically allow air, and maybe even like hiring a shaman or priestess or someone to help clear the air and infuse the air with positive vibrations. You can even host a goddess circle in your home. And then the third step is around decorating to your heart's content. So I give some really great tips around like how to use your five senses and turn your home into a haven, like bring in color, bring in texture, bring in sensuality. So I have a great story. I have a client who, her partner at the time, now they're now married, but at the time he was very, like, he was always busy and non-committal. Like, they were dating exclusively, but he would never stay over at her place. And she was always staying over at his place. And so I went and checked out her home, and it was like the studio apartment in New York City, or a one-bedroom apartment in New York City, and there were boxes lying around everywhere, and she even had a rack for her clothes. And what's funny is she's a very stylish woman, very beautiful woman, but for some reason, like, she was waiting to get married to set up her home, you know? And so I told her, "You've gotta turn this into a haven." So she cleared out all her stuff, and she bought, like, a beautiful rug and bought beautiful pillows and put candles and lavender in her home and made it, like, kind of like a Moroccan theme home. And she even, like, added some, nice dishware, and, like, she had a tiny kitchen, but she actually stocked it up with nice stuff. And lo and behold, her guy started staying over a lot more, and then it turned from 1 night a week to 2 nights a week to 3 nights a week, and then he finally moved in, and then they got married and upgraded together. So that's what, like, having a beautiful home can do. It can attract sensuality and partnership. Yeah. Um, Another tip is to invite friends home for dinner. I find that the energy of hosting people actually, like, there's just this positive energy that gets created by hosting people. The second tip is to wear clothes that bring out your wow factor. So this is a big one. I noticed that a lot of women wear very, they wear a lot of black or brown, especially in New York City, very like put together. And um, so I would encourage you to explore colors and explore sensuality in your clothing. Like, just mix it up a little bit. Show off your body parts, and like, what would your uninhibited self do? Yeah. When you start becoming more conscious about what you're wearing, then you start, again, like, you become magnetic, because people look at you and they're like, "Oh, wow, that's hot." Okay. Another tip is to create space in your life for love. So love doesn't just happen on weekends or weeknights. Rather, it's an intention and requires plenty of air and space. Luckily, while doing this book, you've been carving out that space. And if you're busy, that's understandable, but you need to prioritize the space for love and say no to extra work obligations or dinners that are no longer resonating. And you might even have to put other things on hold. So it's all about priorities, you know? Sometimes women are juggling with too much. They're like trying to excel in their career and trying to buy a home and trying to find a relationship all at the same time. Like this is the common theme that I've noticed with women. And yet you kind of have to just focus on one at a time. And that way you can, it's like building blocks in your life. And if you're focusing on love, just focus on love. Create space in your calendar for love. And you must create a large open space in your life, heart, and mind for love. During your spare time, instead of filling it, focus on relaxation, taking time for pleasure, and cultivating your love practices. When you're out and about, smile and talk to people. Smile at the cute guy at the coffee shop. Be approachable and inviting to love in all its wondrous shapes and forms. Okay, so just take a moment. I'll take a sip of water. I just covered some Feng Shui principles around love. And just kind of, you know, do these exercises, especially the Feng Shui stuff, over a period of the next few months. Like just set an intention, you know. So, page 234, establish your queendom. So, this is about establishing your dream life so that your partner is going to join you in building and helping you build this dream life that you're envisioning. If you build it, he will come from the movie Field of Dreams. Okay? Sometime around now, you must be wondering, wow, what comes next? What do I want? Who do I want to be with? And where do I want to live? Whether or not you know the answers to these questions, now is the perfect time to take a step back, recalibrate, and begin to consciously articulate your vision. Your thoughts, words, and creative feminine energy can begin to conjure this life for you. It sounds like magic, right? When you're clear about what you desire, you attract a partnership and opportunities that align with your authentic self. Plus, men are wildly attracted to women who are connected to their deep knowing and are grounded in their vision of their life and feel turned on. Okay, so I'm moving into values. Like I've talked about values a lot. I share a story about Ellie who was falling in love with this man, Dan, and she began to wonder, like, is he the one? And the gauge that we used was, okay, well, what are your values? And she articulated them. And then I asked her, well, does he help you live according to your values? And does he embody some of the values that are important to you? And she said yes to both. And based on that realization, she realized that there's resonance between them and she could go further with him. So that was the test that she used. In mountaineering, when you're in a precarious situation like falling down a cliff, you place your climbing stick into the ground and you courageously lean into it and surrender. So this is a mountaineering trick. Values are the same. They are your inner compass, your guiding light through life's ups and downs, and it's how you consciously create a life that's meaningful and fulfilling to you. When you're clear on your values, you begin to live more authentically and make courageous decisions for aligning with them. So I share some exercises on page 237 around how to define your values. I think that these exercises are valuable for everybody to do. And then on page 238, I share about how you can define what your needs are in a relationship. So there's values, and then there's your 5 kind of non-negotiable needs in a relationship. And you can actually use these in your online profile. So, something that I do is when I'm helping women design their online profile, I I incorporate their values and their needs in the profile. And that way a guy knows off the bat whether he's interested in that or not. So it's just a more powerful way to portray yourself. Okay. Page 238, declare your intentions to the universe. So I shared two practices for declaring your intentions. So saying out loud de- what your desire. One of the most powerful things you can do is to write down what you want to manifest in your life. Your life is a creative endeavor, and through the power of your word, you can begin to write the story of your life, envisioning what you desire. Your subconscious mind, when moved by this vision, begins to draw in this reality to you and filters in these affirming experiences. So, on page 239, I share how to create your manifestation prayer. And I write manifestation prayers like every few years where, I include like what I want to manifest for my life, my partnership, my sex life, my relationship with my higher self, with my children, business, money, community, spiritual practice. So you can write, what you want to manifest in each of these areas. And I've shared how to do that powerfully. And on page 240, I share an example. And I love this example. It's from a client actually who wrote this. I just thought it was so beautiful. And then on page 241, I share about how to create a vision board. And I have my vision board over there. A vision board is just this giant, blank canvas, poster board or whatever. And you put pictures from magazines of what you want to create in your life. You can put words and pictures. So I encourage you to do that. Put your dream home, couple, pictures of travel, pictures of abundance, put words that really like make, that really inspire you in terms of eating, healthy eating, exercise, whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life. And you'll see, like, every time I look at my board, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I'm creating in my life, and it's kind of like on my altar. So it's a powerful way of, just infusing your subconscious mind with what you want to manifest. And ultimately, it is your subconscious mind that helps you manifest what it is you desire. Okay, and now when Christian and I were dating, we did a manifestation. We did a vision board practice together where we each created our own vision boards, and it's so cute. Like I still have those vision boards, and I think everything on those vision boards has come true for me. So that's how powerful it is. And I have another client who made a vision board with her partner as well. And it was just such a romantic experience for them to do it together. So, anyways, we're at the end of today's book club discussion. If you have any questions about what I covered today, you can post them in this chat or you can send me an email. Thank you so much for joining today. Please like this video. Please share my book with other women or men that you feel could benefit. Please leave a review online on Amazon so that more people can find this book. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you. We have 2 more weeks left in our book club. So lots of love.